Hello, my babies. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. Today, I'm going to give you guys this little extra video. This is a live stream. So this has been pre-recorded. This live stream was done for the Love Mastery Program students, and I'm posting it for you guys so that you can kind of gain some insights from the questions that I answered and from the conversations that we had that have to do with the Love Mastery Program. And if you're new to the Love Mastery Program, if you haven't heard about it, it's basically this program that I created that I channeled from source and from my higher self, who is a divine being that's all about love and wants me to teach the world about love. And this information basically came together and created this program where you get to learn how to heal yourself from past trauma, heal yourself from any betrayal, rejection, anything that you've been through. And then you get to rewrite your limiting beliefs, work on yourself, basically learn how to love yourself, and then do all these manifesting techniques in order to manifest not just a soulmate, not just a specific person or a crush or an ex or whatever it is that you want, but just a more loving existence in general. If you are interested in joining the Love Mastery Program, the link will be in the description below. And I will also link to some testimonials and some success stories if you want to hear those. Right now, I'm going to answer some questions that were asked in the Love Mastery Facebook group. And then I'm going to talk to my students live. And you guys will get a lot from this. And if you just want to go dive deeper, then I really recommend signing up for the Love Mastery Program. And also light work will be out in a month. So there's that. So I'm going to go through the questions in order. So the first question I got was, will your mind still be reprogrammed if you listen to or repeat the affirmations while doing other things, or do you need to repeat them and to be focused on them? So in the Love Mastery Program, as my students know, we have these affirmations. We have several different kinds, some to heal ourselves, some for self-love, some for limiting beliefs. You don't have to be focused on the affirmations if you're listening to them and not actually repeating them. You don't have to be super focused. You can repeat them and not be super focused. Actually, if you're doing something else, you're probably getting into flow state. And because of that, the affirmations have a higher chance of permeating into your subconscious mind. So you don't have to be super focused. You can be super focused. It will work either way. That's how affirmations work. Affirmations are super easy. They're super simple. They're really not difficult to take into your routine and to use. Okay, second question. Since the law of attraction has a lot to do with feeling, how do I get myself to feel the emotion related to what I'm manifesting? So that's a very good question. So the law of attraction has everything to do with feeling. We know that by now. It's all about feelings and emotions. Our feelings and emotions are so important because that's our doing is right or wrong, whether we're on the right path, whether we're manifesting something that resonates with our higher self and with our vibration through our feelings. So you just have to find a way to make yourself feel the way that you want to feel. So for example, in the Love Mastery Program, you have to fill out a list for 30 days where you identify certain things that you love. That's why I created the love list. That's so important. The love list is one of the most important parts of the program. When you do that, you're thinking about the things that you love, focusing on things that you already love. So you already know that feeling. Thereby, you're feeling those emotions, emitting them, and that helps out your manifestation. So figure out what emotion your successful manifestation will make you feel, and then focus on things that already make you feel that way. And if that's hard for you, which I think by the comment that I read, it kind of seemed like it's a little bit difficult for this person. And I think that you're going to get better at that when you get closer to your higher self and closer to your intuition and emotions. You'll start to feel more. But if you have a problem with it right now, just focus on being grateful. If you can't feel anything, focus on giving thanks, and that's good enough. So then we have another person. They completed the program. They put their desire out into the universe, but they still think about their ex. This person said she was married to him and he betrayed her. She doesn't want him back, but the pain is still there. Will the universe still hear her? So the universe hears what you're focusing on. We know this already. In the program, we heal through things that hurt us in the past. Because if we don't heal, we're still thinking about them. We're still focusing on them. We're just manifesting more of those things happening if we're still feeling pain. When we feel pain about something, when we feel that betrayal and that hurt and it comes up, those emotions are super, super powerful. So you have this thought, it comes back up into your head, it connects with the emotion, and you're attracting more of that. So basically what I want to say is you have to heal first before moving on. If you're ready to let go of that past relationship and you want to move on and manifest someone new, you have to let this go. You have to work through the pain. So this is your number one challenge now. You have got to heal through this before you can make the changes you desire. Forgive this person for hurting you, even if they don't deserve it. Just do that for yourself. You deserve that. And next question. How to deal with becoming overwhelmed while working through limiting beliefs. So while doing the Love Mastery program, I'm sure many of you have identified several limiting beliefs. Some people might have 2 limiting beliefs. Me, I probably in the beginning had 15, and I identify new ones all the time, but I just know how to deal with them, and I rewrite them right away before they become super, super powerful in my subconscious. So many of us have a ton of limiting beliefs. My advice for this is to go one at a time. Start with just identifying them and then work through them one at a time. You've had so many years to enforce these beliefs into your mind, and you've allowed them to hold you back for so long. So allow yourself some time to properly deal with them. Because if you let yourself be held back by these beliefs for all these years, don't you deserve to put in the time and effort to really work on them? You're not in a rush here. You've made it this far with having those beliefs. So don't stress about rushing to rewrite them and rework them. Take it one at a time. That's an act of self-love in itself, allowing yourself the time to properly work through each one of these beliefs that are holding you back. And then how do you know when you've been able to clear and overcome negative beliefs? That's a very good question. So you'll know because first of all, you'll believe in yourself more. You'll find yourself thinking differently. For example, when I rewrote my beliefs about money, months down the line, I found myself thinking, I deserve good food and I have the money to buy it, instead of thinking, oh wow, this restaurant is really pricey. I'm like, hell yeah, belief conquered. You just realize it because you start to hear your thoughts and you're like, wow, this thought is super positive. I like that I'm thinking this way. You'll just start living closer to your higher self and to your heart. And the beliefs that are true are the ones that make you feel good. So you'll realize your vibration is actually raised and you're an overall happier person with these new beliefs. You'll be happier than you could have ever imagined being, in fact. Having limiting beliefs hold us back from being happy. And I talk about limiting beliefs a lot, about how important it is to manifesting. But I think that is a very appropriate background. I don't think I've ever really told you guys how important it is for raising your vibration to rework your limiting beliefs. Your limiting beliefs hold you down at a lower frequency, and rewriting them and reworking them will raise that frequency. So next question. So somebody asked if I can talk about breakups, my experience, how to do it with kindness and closure. So breakups, I'll touch on this briefly. You should always strive to end things with kindness. However, often relationships end because something bad happened. So I would say that even in that position, hold your head high. Be the bigger person. Behave through the heart and not through the ego. You don't want to hurt someone that you loved so much. You were hurt and you were betrayed. Being the bigger person is obviously going to be a challenge, but I want you to take that challenge. Show people how you're going to rise above this pain that you were put through, how you're so much stronger than this pain. Never be petty. Don't lower yourself down to anybody else's level. It's going to feel so good. And breakups are a challenge, but they're also growth for us. I've always been My breakups have been bad in the past. I've always been the one to end a relationship, but they've been bad. They've been really bad. Ultimately, the ones where I held my head high and had respect for myself and respect for my ex-boyfriend, I ended up being friends with those people. When the breakup was really messy and really bad and I got dirty and they got dirty, you're not friends with them anymore if you don't really work through it. You don't want to be left with that hurt, and it could be in your hands. It's up to you to decide how you're going to end this relationship and walk away with it, walk away from it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be through communicating even, but you don't want to block them for no reason if they didn't deserve it. You want to just be civil and a gentleman or a lady. Honestly, that's how I feel. Even if somebody hurt you, just because it'll be good for your own soul to treat it that way, to behave that way. That's just my own opinion. They asked for that. So, how should you deal with your mind and your soul, knowing you deserve so much more and wanting the perfect guy from your list, but your heart is still missing and wanting a person from the past? I'm reading this quote unquote, because there's so much love and history there. When you realize that you can have that person of your dreams, but there might be blockage because you still kind of deep down want your ex. So what to do when you deep down kind of want your ex still, but you know that you can manifest anybody. So if you still want your ex, I would say go for it. You get to choose what you want to experience in this life. So maybe your soul is craving more from this person, more love, or maybe more lessons and growth. However, if you know that this is a bad person and that you need to move on from them, I think maybe go deep down to the root of why you want to be with this person. Is it because of the memories? Because the memories were beautiful, but you can just let them stay beautiful. Leave them in the past. Is it because you don't want to see them with anybody else? That's your ego talking. So tell your ego to pipe down. Or is it because you truly love them? If you love them, then it's a true desire and you should go for it. Okay. All right. I have some extra questions because that actually was really fast. So I'm just going to answer these on the fly. How to handle feelings of anger and doubt in everyday life. So feelings of anger and doubt come from your ego self. So we are split. There's our heart self, which is our true self. The feelings and behavior that comes from our heart, that's who we truly are. And if you're on your spiritual path, it's very likely that you are already behaving out of your heart. If you like who you are as a person, you're behaving out of your heart. If you're feeling negative in any way, that's your ego. And your ego is primal. It's all about survival. So the negative feelings come from the ego because it's trying to protect you in one way or another, which is nice, but it gets in the way of us living our lives. So anger and doubt come from the ego. So what you have to do when you feel these emotions is become very mindful and very present and be like, why am I feeling this way? Where is this coming from? What is my ego trying to communicate, or how is my ego trying to protect me from being hurt, protect me from feeling rejection, feeling negative emotions? Your ego doesn't understand that creating that anger and that doubt is the same as ending up feeling negative emotions. It doesn't really it's not very rational, our ego. So when you become very present and very mindful and just ask yourself why you're feeling these emotions, usually you'll be able to go down to the bottom level. And when you identify it, it becomes less important and you don't feel that way so much anymore. And what will come instead is feeling proud that you know how to deal with these emotions, that you know how to identify where they're coming from, and that you know that they're not coming from you. Your heart self doesn't feel negative emotions like that. Your ego does. So understanding where they're coming from is the first step. Next question. How to let go of pain. So I'm very big on allowing yourself to feel pain if you want to let it go. First, you have to feel it, go through it, and then once you feel it and go through it, you'll feel so much better and you'll let go of that pain. So what I've always been very big on is in my breakups, we'll talk about breakups because I feel like you can apply that to anything else. In my breakups, and I think that this happens to a lot of women, maybe men as well, but my ex has always, every ex I've had has always moved on, not to another girlfriend, but to hookups and one night stands, drinking immediately after we broke up. And that's not how I ever dealt with my breakups. I would stay home, I'd go through it, I'd feel it, I'd go through my emotions, I'd cry, I'd talk to my friends, I'd talk to my family. I would really, really feel the breakup. I would feel the emotions. 2 weeks down the line, I'm feeling so healthy and so happy. And then my ex would start feeling the emotions because the partying wanes down, the excitement about going out and hooking up with new people wanes down, and they suddenly are confronted with these emotions. So what I say is when pain arises, feel it. I got a very important lesson the other night when I was having kind of a recurring plant medicine trip kind of thing. In the past, in dreams and at Rhythmia, when I was afraid of something, and then I'd never heal. But I realized through having this dream about a wolf and coming up to the wolf and putting my head inside the wolf's mouth, which in other dreams I would run away from a threatening animal. That's how you allow yourself to feel. Let yourself feel these emotions. Where was I? Let yourself feel these emotions, walk up to that pain, walk up to those negative feelings and feel them, and then move on from them. Once you feel pain, there's a quote. I know that there's this quote. I don't know where it's from, but it's pain demands to be felt. I believe that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that quote is so powerful because it's true. Because if you don't feel it, if you run away from it, it's going to chase you. It's going to chase you wherever you go until you feel it. So that's how to let go of pain. Feel it first. It's going to go away. The thing is, a lot of people think, even a few months down the line, I don't think you'll feel pain a few months down the line, but they think that they're going to feel this way forever. And that's just not true. It's just not true. Everything is so temporary. Everything is fleeting. It demands to be felt. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm checking the chat. It's going to go away. So a lot of people comment me and they say, I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do. It's not going away. It will go away. Allow yourself that time. You need to feel this right now. Okay. Next question. Will the subliminal help me believe 100% by reprogramming my mind completely? Or is there anything else I need to do? Actually, the subliminal is plenty. It's enough. It's 100%. It will work. It will reprogram your mind. The whole thing about everything with this program and the law of attraction, however, is that you have to be open to it. When you're open to something energetically and with your heart, it's going to work. That's it. That's why, I won't get into placebo effects and things like that, but that's why they work. You don't need to do any extra work. Everything is there for you. Okay, it was kind of a specific question, so I narrowed it down to this. I know obsessing doesn't work, but I have some deep-rooted belief system causing it that I can't root out. What is a good way to eliminate it? First step is to stop saying that you can't root something out. Start believing that it's easy for you to identify your limiting beliefs. That's the very first step. Secondly, you have all the limiting beliefs exercises that you need in the Love Mastery program. You know how to identify them. Start to believe that it's easy for you, that things come up for you. Also, light work is very, very good in identifying those limiting beliefs because you're kind of asking your shadow self, what's holding me back? And it shows you. You can ask before bed to be shown in your dreams what where you got this belief or what the belief is. You'll get it through signs. You'll get the answers through signs and synchronicities. Okay. Can you please talk about the value of time? We look at law of attraction in terms of speed of manifestation and goals, even though the magic lies in the process and feeling. How do we stay aligned to feeling and process instead of getting impatient and waiting for it? I've improved a lot and manifested a lot, but for bigger things like the one, I still do this at times. It's understandable. I think that waiting around for something is very, very silly. I think it's a waste of this fleeting human existence. We came here to feel all these different things and experience all this different stuff. So you put out your order for the universe. Now go live your life. And once, that's once. Isn't once a word actually? And once you start living your life, that's when time doesn't become a thing anymore and your manifestation comes immediately. For example, you guys, I redid part of the program back in October. I think I told you, and I did a little update on Facebook how I'm just experiencing all this right now. I'm loving where I am so much, and I wasn't looking for anybody. I really wasn't. I realized I don't care about having a relationship right now. And just being in that flow state of love, so much love, and just enjoying my life, I couldn't avoid romantic things happening to me. So now I have several romantic choices, and I wasn't looking for any of them. And that's just how life works. Do the work on yourself. Focus on yourself. I say this all the time. Go looking for you and you'll find them, or they'll find you. And that happens all the time. And you already know this. When will you start believing it? Decide you want to do it. I recommend at least doing it once, but if you loved it, keep doing it. Do it whenever you feel like, whenever you need to reactivate the heart chakra. Okay, so this question is about contrast. So I'm going to just read it. A somewhat more general question. You always tell us to focus on the good and to give attention to positive things that make us feel good. For example, recently in your Rhythmia vlog, I believe you said to only watch movies, read books, etc. that make you feel good. However, at the same time, I believe you said that we're on earth to experience contrast. In my interpretation, this means you don't know good when you haven't experienced at least some bad. No rainbow without some rain, that kind of thing. How do we reconciliate the both? There's a lot of movies or books that make you sad, cry even. Should we stay away from all those? Hope my question's clear, but let me know if I need to elaborate. I actually just meant scary movies, not so much sad movies. You could take it all the way to sad movies. I think that sad movies can be beautiful sometimes though. But I meant scary, like horrific ones. You don't need, if you think that you came to Earth to experience murder and rape and disease and horrific things like that, go ahead and watch those movies and experience that. I don't think that's what you want though. And we experience enough contrast, enough. I can't English ever. Enough contrast in our everyday lives when we have negative things happen to us. We don't have to necessarily add on to it, because I feel like that adds on unnecessary suffering, which we didn't come to suffer. We came to experience contrast. And what I mean by that is our higher dimensional selves, when we live in this loving reality, everything is so perfect there that there's no, it's like, in our standards, in our this dimension standards, it's unrealistic. Everything is perfect up there. It's literal heaven. That is where the concept of heaven comes from. So we came here to experience, sometimes my kombucha doesn't have bubbles. You know what I mean? It's contrast here. Whereas in that dimension, that doesn't happen. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we have another question about letting go. I feel like I've answered this so many times, but I guess letting go is just really daunting to people. And I understand that. So I just want to remind you one more time. It's easy to let go. Just accept that it's easy. It's not hard. So this question was, does letting go mean completely forget about your desire, or does it mean live your life without worrying about it? I find when I tell myself to forget about something, I start to talk about it more. I think you know the answer already. Letting go definitely means living your life without worrying about it. Stop worrying whether it's coming or not. Know that it's coming. Have perfect faith. Have trust in the process, and just live your life. That's letting go. That's it. That's as easy as that's how easy it is. It's as easy as writing down in the morning, this is what I want today, and then going and living your day without doing anything to even make it happen. That's letting go. Okay. More on how to stop energetically chasing someone. So I think you kind of have to figure out what energetically chasing someone means to you, because it's very difficult to explain expending energy. You know, when you do anything, you expend energy. When you get up from a chair, you're expending energy. When you walk around, you're using your energy. Are you using your energy to obsess over somebody? Are you using so much of your energy, so much of your desire and your just like your being to think about this person, to wonder what they're doing, to do this, to do that for them? That's energetically chasing them. That same exertion. It doesn't have to be actually a physical movement, but it's a feeling. You know, when you watch a movie, that's an energetic exchange. You're feeling the movie is pulling out energy from you. It's pulling out emotions from you. When that pulling out of energy and emotions can be done to energetically chase somebody, and people feel that. When you're energetically chasing somebody, they can feel it, and they often, more often than not, will take advantage of that and be like, oh, this person is really, really into me. I don't have to give them back energy. So there's a difference between giving energy when you're, communicating with somebody face to face and giving them energy, filling them with positive, pure energy, and energetically chasing them with your energy. And that's all. It's something that's hard to explain because you kind of just have to feel it. You know very well what that feels like. You know what it feels like when you are doing too much, when you're thinking too much about a person and expending too much of your energy on them. All you have to do is take that energy back, place it into yourself. And that's it. That's how you stop energetically chasing somebody else and putting it back into you. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing. It's all about energy. You are an energetic being. You are a light being. You know how to use your energy. You know what to do with your energy yourself. Okay. How to stop putting that other person on a pedestal? That's a very good question. So when we put somebody on a pedestal, we're putting them out of reach for ourselves. When we put somebody might be on our level and they might think that we are literally perfect for them, but we put them on a pedestal and suddenly they're out of reach and they're like, oh, maybe I am. That person is like, maybe I am too good for this person. Because again, that's an energetic connection and you place them higher than you. How you stop putting that person on a pedestal is, first of all, literally imagine yourself knocking them off that pedestal. You're going to respect them, but you're not going to treat them like they're any better than you. You are in the same playing field, on the same level. Stop looking at them as too good for you, better for you. What I would say is a really good way to do this is whatever you're thinking about this person, write it down and then change it to yourself. So if you're like, oh my God, they're so amazing, they're so beautiful, so attractive, you write that all about yourself and start to just focus on that instead of focusing on this person chilling up there on their pedestal. Hope that makes sense. So how to deal with outside pressures from parents or family to start dating, even if they're being understanding. So they're not being like overwhelming, but you're still feeling pressure. So understand that you cannot change the way other people feel. However, life is like a mirror. So if you're allowing your mom's constant worrying and bickering about you not going on dates, and you're getting older and you're not having a partner yet, if you allow that to really penetrate into your soul, what you're doing is internalizing it and then amplifying it and sending it back out as a projection into your reality. So what may have started out as a simple argument becomes the basis of your entire reality and your relationship with this person, with your mom. And your mom becomes this constant reminder that you're single. So it's this constant feedback loop that's manifesting more of that being single. So while you can't change this person, you also have to become aware that you create certain characters into your life that actually reflect back to you what you're thinking about yourself. So you start with working on yourself, focusing on your own feelings, your own emotions. You might think that this is all coming from your mom, but it's very likely that you're still projecting that same thing out into your universe, into your reality. So start with fixing your own thoughts and your own beliefs, and then you'll see that there's going to be a change, there's going to be a shift in the way that your mom treats you, and that the focus is not going to be so much on that anymore. The focus will be on whatever you're focusing on. So if you're focusing on yourself, your mom will start focusing on you more than the absence or the lack of a partner. So if you just become very present and aligned and aware of your thoughts and emotions, you would see that you can decide whether you let certain things get to you or not. I just got really hungry. And I'm done with the questions. So let's see. Let me look through the chat real quick. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Lucille. Waking up to you so good. I cried reading your suggestion for intention of the ceremony. They made me cry. God, does it resonate? Exactly. Those intentions really speak to our soul and to our heart. Paulina, because this resonated with you so much, your ego might start getting in the way of you doing this actual ceremony. It is very important that you do it this month. Make no excuses for yourself. I've just noticed that our egos, especially if we have egos that haven't been messed with at all, they will start realizing that there's about to be something that makes them a little bit less important. And they're going to claw at attention and claw at getting power again. So you might have something come up where you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it this month. Maybe I'll do it next month. If that happens, make sure you do it this month. It's very interesting how things like that happen. Hi, Maya. Your value goes up in your eyes, also in their eyes, also when you do it from the heart. Agreed. Do we need decent headphones to listen to subliminals, or will cheap ones do? I honestly don't even listen to subliminals through headphones. And the way that I made mine, you don't have to listen to them through headphones. It could work better potentially if you do, and it doesn't have to be through really good ones. Do you consider light work and shadow work the same thing? Basically, my own approach to shadow work. If I'm redoing the Love Mastery program, should I finish it before light work? Good question. I would say no. I would say dive into light work first. Can they feel the energy even if you don't act on it, like always thinking about them but you don't contact them? Yes. 100%, especially if you know this. Well, mostly if you know this person, but it could even happen if you've never interacted with a person. So if you're sitting there thinking about somebody for a very long time, they feel that, but it doesn't feel like it's not a good thing. Just think about somebody for hours on end so that they feel it. However, if you naturally can't stop thinking about somebody and you're really happy thinking about them, that usually means that your energetic cord is on point and they're thinking about you as well. For example, my friend has been talking to me. We were talking all week and she was telling me about this guy that she really fell for, and she really messed things up with him. She really screwed things up. And I've just been helping her, to what to do to manifest him back into her life. And I explained to her that sitting there and thinking about him all the time is not what she wants to do. What she wants to do is to focus on healing herself. So she took a week off of obsessing over him and focused on herself. She identified all this crazy stuff. She did she tested out light work for me. And she saw all this stuff from her childhood. So she's been just focusing on herself. Now, the other night, Saturday night, she couldn't stop thinking about him. And she texted me and she's like, I can't stop thinking about him. Is this bad? I'm like, no, if you're feeling good and you can't stop thinking about him, it's very likely that he's thinking about you also. Now, they haven't spoken in a full year. He also stopped checking all her social media, all her story posts and everything, because he just she really turned him off and he just wasn't interested. It was very obvious. Saturday night, the night where she asked me if it's okay that she's thinking about him, whatever, she saw that he opened all her stories for the first time in a year. So that energetic connection is very, very real. So I know you have had difficulty with limiting beliefs about finding someone with all the qualities you want. Can you talk about how you overcame that? Yeah. Super, super simple. I kept telling myself, if I exist, they have to exist. If I exist, they have to exist. I probably said it out loud to my friends maybe 3 to 5 times. And suddenly I have potential men in my life that could check up all those boxes. And they came out of nowhere. Just tell yourself this, just get an affirmation. Affirmations are so, so powerful. And that's just how I rewrote it. Super simple, super easy. Aaron told me today, I'm very good at simplifying these things. And I told him, it's not that. It's that I truly believe that it's that simple. And that's why it is that simple. And if you just truly believe that these things are that easy, they'll be that easy for you. How do I know if the Love Mastery program is working for the specific person I'm attracting? How do I see signs? You have to ask for signs, Maya. So you have to just be like, I want to know that this manifestation is coming to me. Show me this. And then you'll see signs. The thing is, doing that is showing that you don't trust the process and you're kind of focusing and putting attention on lack and not already having this person. So what I would do is I would stop worrying about whether it's working or not and just start focusing on having perfect faith and trust that the universe is bringing to you what you ask for. And it will, one way or another. Understand that nothing is big for the universe. Like I said in my first ever Law of Attraction video, you can ask for a pen, you can ask for an elephant, and it's exactly the same amount of work for the universe. And I can say that that is true. I asked for an elephant and I got to spend a whole week with them. Happy birthday, Mary Tare. Mary Tare? I'm so jet lagged I can barely read. I keep on manifesting my ex in and out of my life, but I want to be with him. What am I doing wrong? You have to kind of take time to look into what you're doing. What are you asking for? What are you really asking for? What do you need? And also, does he want to be with you? Because if you keep manifesting and he keeps coming in your life and then leaving, it's likely, it could possibly be that he has his own path and his own journey that he has to follow and that he's not ready to be with you, but you are so energetically connected and you keep pulling him back in. So maybe letting go a little bit, stepping back a little bit could work because maybe he is not ready and he has not gone through all the things that he needs to go through in order to be with you for the long run. But you are not allowing him to have his own journey. So that's why he keeps leaving and coming back. Are you going to do another subliminal music? I don't have any plans to at this. We're going to do about 10 more minutes here, guys, and I'm going to wrap it up. I hope that was helpful for as many of you as possible. Any other question right now? No? I'm so glad it's been helpful. So while I'm waiting for some questions, just a reminder to anybody watching this after the fact who's not already in the Love Mastery program, sign up before the end of the year and start to manifest the life you've always wanted, the loving existence you've always wanted. We have our description below for you to check out. And here we have some questions. I scripted the partner I want, but at times I think I'm not ready. Then I go back and forth. I'm confusing the universe. Yeah, you are, and you're confusing yourself and probably the person as well. You have to, I said this in a live stream a long time ago. Don't be selfish, because you have to be, if you're going to ask for something, make yourself ready for it, because you're going to manifest that person and they're going to want to be with you. And then if you're not ready for them, you're going to end up hurting them. And it's not their fault that you manifested them into your life, you know? So maybe focus on yourself more before you keep asking for a partner. Should I redo the Love Mastery program if I realize I have limiting beliefs? I've been using the Love Mastery program to not only get my soulmate, but manifest my dream life. You can definitely use the program to manifest your dream life. Everything that is there is applicable to doing that, to manifesting careers, to manifesting anything that you want. Really, it's applicable to everything. If you realize you have more limiting beliefs, you should always work on that. You should work on your limiting beliefs for the rest of your life. Because the thing is, we have experiences that create new ones, even after we worked on past ones. So you have the tools and the insight and foresight to be able to identify new limiting beliefs as they come along. So just make sure that you're always working on them. I always work on my limiting beliefs. Kushbu, I'm confused by your question. How can you stop yourself from self-sabotaging? This always trips me out when people do this. If you've identified that you sabotage yourself, that's literally 90% of the work. The rest of it is just not doing it anymore. Realizing how you sabotage yourself, understanding why you do it, and then just not doing it anymore. Is it possible to manifest the decision you're stuck on? I just signed a lease with my boyfriend, but now I want to live back home but also be with him. Any ideas on that? My biggest recommendation for you is to meditate until you get the answer. When you meditate, you open direct communication with your higher self, and your higher self knows exactly what to do. So it's going to come to you. It's just going to come to you. So just try to meditate. Try to do that. Also, from your comment, the way you phrased it, it really sounds like you know what you want. You do want to live back home, but you want to stay with him. So I've found that the universe rewards bravery. So if you're brave enough to have this conversation with him and be like, honestly, I messed up. I want to be with you, but I want to live at home. It's going to pay off. This is a similar story, but not exactly the same. I was supposed to move in with one of my best friends a year ago. But my gut was telling me, no, I still want to live home. I'm not ready to do this. We were about to sign the lease. We were a day before signing the lease, and she was about to be kicked out of her old apartment. Her lease was up. And I had to be a little bit selfish, but listen to my instincts, listen to my gut, and have that conversation with her. And it was tough. It was a tough conversation. And we weren't friends for a couple of months. Yeah, a couple of months. But then she came to me and she's like, you know what? You made a decision for yourself and you were right. And I respect you for making that decision for yourself and for not leading me on, getting into this bad situation and, in the future, resenting me. So thank you for being honest with me. I'm sorry that I took it badly at the time, but ultimately I'm really proud of you for doing that. The universe rewards bravery. Do what you feel is best. How do you get ready for your manifestation? Depends on the manifestation, but I usually just talk about how blessed I am that it happened. I keep wondering when it will happen. I know the answer varies. It's been around 5 or 6 months. Am I doing anything wrong, or is the universe just getting him ready? I feel like I answered a similar question earlier. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. You're not doing anything wrong except for maybe, I mean, you're not doing anything wrong and you're manifesting, but if you keep wondering when, yeah, because you're focusing on not having it. You're focusing on the lack. So the longer you focus on the when, and I talk about this in the program, we go over this in depth in the program. If you keep focusing on the when, you're telling the universe, oh, this hasn't happened yet. And because you're doing that, you're postponing it. The more you focus on the when, the longer away it's going to be, the more time it's going to take. That's the funny part about all this. We can sit there and wonder for so long, when is this going to happen? And us wondering when it's going to happen makes it happen later and later. So what you need to focus on is trusting yourself and trusting that you've done what you needed to do to manifest this person, and stop wondering when it's going to happen. And on that note, I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being here. Everybody who's watching this after, thank you for listening as well. If you're going to sign up for the Love Mastery program, I'll definitely do another live stream like this in the future. The link will be in the description below to sign up. Shout out to all my students. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Thank you to everybody who's literally trusted me with your love lives, with your life. I feel like you should trust me. I feel like I deserve the trust. I know what I'm talking about, and I know that you're going to be so happy, happier than you ever imagined. Other than that, happy manifesting, and have a wonderful holiday season and New Year, even though we'll talk before then. I love you all.